Alright, just turned it live again. Can someone just confirm to me that it's on, because I can't, for whatever reason, the sound's not working on my Spire right now. Alright, back on. So, alright, cool, Fargon. Fargon can hear me. Life is good. So, Fargon, do you have any ideas of how I can entertain while there's like nothing going on? Galgar Girl told me to sing. I'm not really the best singer. I used to do a lot of karaoke though, but I always used to go up with other people so I wouldn't have to go by myself. Used to sing Buttercup and like Total Eclipse of the Heart. Fargon, you want me to talk about boobs? What am I supposed to say about boobs? Why does it always comes back to boobs? I actually could. I could probably like. I could probably YouTube Total Eclipse of the Heart karaoke version. I don't know if I want to do that. They'd probably just turn everyone off. They'd be like, "Ah, I don't want to listen to this." Yeah, I could put on that my dance video. Should I just do that, Dave? We'll just watch that. I basically have nothing else. I mean, you know, we're basically just killing time. Alright, I'll do it. Okay, so this is me performing Michael Jackson's Thriller at the karaoke bar that I used to go to. There was this little bar called Garage Door in Pittsburgh. Best time on. Does the sound from the video come up on the stream, out of curiosity? Alright, so if this doesn't excite people, I don't think anything will. 2, 3. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I spent one summer just working on it. And then I had 2 horrible attempts where I attempted it and like screwed it up and then like ran off stage and then came back later and did it and rocked it out. And then I was doing it this other time at this other bar. And I had like some girls come up and like try to grind on me, and I actually had to like stiff arm this girl in the face. I was like, no, I have the stage right now, you get out of the way. And so there were literally these 2 sorority girls who were trying to dance, and I was like, nope, this is my time. It was funny. Alright, and the match still hasn't come on yet. Alright, at least people are entertained. Yep. That's me. There you go. I don't have the red jacket. Flip, turn, look, stare, stare. Down, hop, down, hop, down, hop, down, hop, down, clap. Slide, 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 stomp and shoulder look left. Down, clap, slide, 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 stomp and shoulder look left. Right, snap, 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 snap. Let's go. And then roar. Alright, so I think this is, you know, bad on par with that Madonna show at the Super Bowl. Trying to keep people entertained. The game still has not started. So actually this is a much better idea than me talking to myself. Glad you think so, Dave. What? Yep. Shameless self-advertisement. Yeah, and then we got those chumps in the back who are just like... They were cool though, they used to like... There was a group of like 4 or 5 of them, they used to like always go up together. They'd wear like shades. And they would always do, Baby, You've Lost That Love and Feeling. And then they had one dude who always used to do like Mr. Roboto, and he had like a Mr. Roboto theme. That was like when my life was interesting. Now my life just sucks. Yep. Yeah, someone has a good idea. I don't really... Oh, wait, game just started. Okay, turn that off. So, now that we're all psyched up, we're going to go into the match. So, Sunbone, we are not going to have to resort to shameless uses of porn or boobs. Okay, so turn 1. 8LP versus 9LP, this is Rush versus Rush. Worthing's opening Cath. He might be playing DIon Control here. Aces played Salamander, turn 1. Did not expect that. Wait, the sound's off? Is that what you guys are saying? The sound is... Okay, so the sound is still on. Some people were just lagging, it looks like. Okay. Okay. I just closed that YouTube video. Maybe that's what was messing it up. Okay, so we have 8LP versus 9LP, so this is basically Rush File versus another Rush File. And Worthing is using Cath. Aces played a turn 1 Salamander. So turn 1 Salamander, basically he expected this Cath. There's no other reason why he would play a turn 1 Salamander. I'm guessing yeah, so okay, Worthing is probably playing DIon Control. We're gonna find out soon enough though. So Aces is starting off with Polar Mia open. I'm guessing Worthing's gonna spend turn 3 returning the Proxia Flame. Usually when people open proxy, it's a really good idea if someone's playing Falco to return it, because what that sort of does is if Aces doesn't replay the proxy, it puts him in this situation where it sort of came up earlier, where his important units are going to be on the field before any of his soul skills activate, whereas if Polar Mia did die first, his souls would activate and then his important units would come out, which is really significant in some cases. So, okay, so there's the return. He's taken out Polar Mia. And Ace played the Mermaid Observer, which means he's probably playing some kind of like Dilte Ruka thing. Okay, so he didn't want to kill the Salamander. I think because it's gonna push back one turn. It's gonna delay one turn when Ace. I can't talk right now. Ace's first soul skill is going to activate one turn later from Worthing not killing that Salamander. So it's a really small effort to create a more advantageous situation in the present moment. And he used the Cath to give 10 defense to X-Wiz. So first few turns very interesting with neither player wanting to kill each other's opening units. Okay, so here's a tidal wave on the Mermaid Observer, and once again that's to prevent Aces from accessing his souls. So right now, let's see what was Grim-Baned. Okay, so second tidal wave was Grim-Baned. That's probably very lucky for Worthing. I'm guessing he has. I'm guessing with this file he does have 3 returns, and if Aces is using something like if Aces is using something with Antilla, it's gonna be very, very good to keep those returns. All right, so we have another Mana Soul activate, and the brave hero Dilte steps out onto the field of play. Worthing's rushing Diandora, so he is playing DIon Control. He may or may not be using Feared. If he is using Feared, it's going to be in the second slot. I know he likes to go 1 LP and then like Nasawet or Destroyer, and then he usually puts Feared second, Rasam third, and Bull Rigid fourth. Some other people, instead of putting Feared second, include a Rasam second, and I think that choice really depends on the meta. So I'm actually guessing he may be using Feared here, but we'll find out. Now Aces is going to be in a really tight jam. Unless I miscounted, I don't think he's going to have enough SP to play like a Sakura, which means this Dilte is in serious trouble of having his equation solved. So we might have a return backlash on turn 6. Let's find out. Okay. Aces used a Wrath of the Sea Lord. Really interesting choice. You know what? I'm gonna say that Aces was expecting in this situation. I think Aces was expecting Worthing to play a return to backlash the seemingly obvious return that Aces was going to play, and so then he was forced to play the forced to play the Wrath of the Sea Lord to protect himself from having to deal with that return backlash. So DIon just got backlashed. So looks like Aces is playing DIon too. Yeah, so Demon God just mentioned something that Aces might not even have any returns. That's possible. He could have gone something like a Wrath and 2 Cyclones and literally no returns. Honestly, I think he still has a return in there. I think he was afraid of the backlash, but we'll find out soon enough. So Worthing's bringing out an Alsage to start pumping Alsage. I'm guessing he's going to let this frog die and bring out... let the frog die and then play Diandora again. But he's still going to be in a really tight jam if he can't get that Diandora out and Aces keeps backlashing. He's also going to need a way to try to take care of this Dilte. I don't know, a lot's going to depend on if he decided to go for Feared or not. Oh my god, I'm getting nervous. Okay, so he chooses to revive the frog, and instead of playing another Diandora, he instead chooses to play another Alsage. So right now, he's just going to try to create a massive SP edge. The other thing about this situation is that he can use the frog to lock down Diandora, and so that won't be a problem. And the other benefit is the more Alsages he gets out. Okay, so okay, Cyclone. Yeah, like Immortal said, a lot of these Falco matches come down to, well, in some cases it's a matter of who has more Alsages, and so we're going to try to pump out Alsages, you know, to get an SP edge. Okay. So it looks like Worthing's not using Feart. He just played Diandora, looking into Cemetery. He has 2 frogs down, 1 Diandora. This Dilte is going to be engaged until the end of next turn. So during this next turn, the only option Aces has, he's going to have 4 SP. So I guess we're going to find out really quick whether or not he has that 1 copy of Return. I'm guessing Worthing's going to go ahead and play another Alsage, or go ahead and play Sea Hunter. It's going to be important for him to get Tank down on the field in front of DIon. So early edge, I think Worthing might be up by 1 SP, or maybe it's tired now, but it's really close. Yeah, Demon God made a good point in our chat here, where it's just a pure SP battle, and yeah, that's really common when it comes down to Falco file versus Falco file. In other cases, like when it's like going versus going, it's like who can do more damage. If it's you know, Refresh versus Refresh, well, that's a horribly boring game. Here, Falco versus Falco, it's all about all about SP. So I'm guessing Worthing's going to try to get some Alsages down and try to start solving equations. The one thing I want to point out that he did that I think he sort of planned out is there was one turn he had an option to play Diandora, and if he did, he would have ended up backlashing a second time, but on that turn, that's when he was playing Owl Sages. And I think when he was doing that, he was planning ahead for this point right here, knowing if he can start milking some SP off the Owls, he's going to be able to get DIon out, return the opponent's Diandora, and hopefully create a situation like this where Aces is going to be in a real serious jam. So it's hard to say who's ahead. We got a really big turn here, turn 12. Okay, yeah. So Aces did have a return. I was right. He did have a return. He on that thing on turn 4 where he used who did he use? He played Wrath. He played Wrath because he was afraid of a return backlash. So +1 for me on protection. Thank you. Okay. So recap the situation. Aces has 2 cards in the cemetery. Worthing has 5, but right now cards in cemetery is almost irrelevant. It's purely going to be about SP and field. If Worthing can ever get his Diandora down on the field, he'll be able to lock out Ace's entire file. The rest of his file is going to sort of be irrelevant. On the flip side, if Aces can do things like maybe like spam salamanders or something, he's going to be able to not get locked down. So it's all about can Aces move his soul skills, and can Worthing prevent Aces from get to soul skills and lock down the field. Another thing that I want to point out, you'll notice Aces didn't start with X Merkle. So before I raged about that and called that a really noob thing, and you know what, if Aces played X Merkle turn 1 here, he never would have activated the Samana Soul, and he would be really far behind right now. Okay, so now we're on turn 14. Now Sage just died off. Worthing's on his last copy of Diandora. But it is out on the field. Aces used 1 return. He might have a second. He might have 2 Cyclones here too. I'm guessing Ace's file is basically purely built around maybe like 2 or 3 units. Like it's probably entirely about Ruka, Dilatate, and Diandora, and maybe Bringer. So he literally might just have 3 copies of like those 4 units, so just 12 cards, and then the rest of the file might just be about support just for that core group. Oh yeah, it probably has Antilla in there too. Okay, so here's a Sea Hunter and another return. Okay, so Aces did have 2 returns. Probably doesn't have a third. Worthing actually had an option there to backlash the return. Would have been a really ballsy move. But probably didn't know what was going to go on, so didn't do that. So Sea Hunter's out. In this situation, Aces is going to have 3 SP next turn, so Aces might be able to play Diandora, in which case Worthing has to decide, do I want to play Diandora expecting the backlash, or would I rather just put out an Alsage, because he probably still has 1 more turn, so he could do something like play an Alsage and then a turn later return the other person's Diandora. I guess we'll kind of see. Alright, so this is scary. We got an Antilla out on Ace's side, and Worthing just played Elite Fencer. So, since I haven't been playing recently, I'm a little out of the loop in terms of Delta's skills. I guess Worthing's going to be able to attack first with Fencer, and then it's going to kill him, but then his close skill is going to activate, so he's going to get 10 in rank down, and then Sea Hunter is going to be able to kill Delta. On Worthing's side, I'm guessing he's going to return the Antilla and then play his last copy of Diandora. Really hard to tell. Worthing's going to have 4 SP this next turn. Aces is going to have 2 SP. Aces might just replay one of his level 1 units like Mermaid Observer. But this is gonna be tough. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so here's the DIon. So Antilla's going to be generating a lot of SP here, which is really not good. And I kind of like that. Instead of attacking and killing the Delta, Worthing's just going to try to lock down the field here. I'm guessing to turn 18, he's going to play an outstage, but the Antilla SP gen is a really, really big problem. Yeah, if Argon called me out as being biased, I probably am. I mean, rooting for Worthing. But, Ace is a really good player. I mean, if he wins, he deserves it. And I also really, really like how he played Salamander turn 1 instead of X-Mercurl. If he played X-Mercurl, he probably would have been losing this game. So on Ace's side, he has Delta, he has Antilla out. Going forward, he's got to be thinking. Is he gonna play Ruka? Is he gonna play Bringer? Or is he gonna play? Not sure what the rest of his file is. Might be an obvious Bringer next turn, but we're going to find out soon enough. The biggest threat to this file is that Antilla. Okay, so there's Ruka and there's an Alsage. Okay. So Antilla went off again. And Worthing quit. So I guess Aces is our champion. Unless that was a weird DC. He might have just be
Yep.
Yeah. Were you looking like a few turns ahead, just it wasn't winnable?
No, what happened there is I didn't move Sea Hunter up, which locked my Diandora up on an agility roll to see if Dilate would go first or if Diandora would go first, and since Diandora went first, I couldn't return Dilate, so I would lose the game pretty much next turn. I had no outs.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
So yeah, I made an error there, but I think my odds are pretty slim. Yeah, I should have went with Eternal Night game 1, or Eternal Morning.
Yeah, that was really tough. Big Red versus Lich. But he did a really good job counterpicking.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
Congratulations to Aces then, yeah.
Yep, good job, Aces.
But yeah, even if you would have returned the Antilla, it still kind of didn't. I don't know. It didn't look. Do you think you would have been able to win that?
What's that?
Even if you like returned the Antilla, do you still think you would have been able to win that? Like,
no,
yeah,
not at all. I don't think.
Like once that Antilla hit,
it would have been really, really, really slim.
Yeah.
I think I would have had to win an agility roll on Ruka the next turn, and then he pretty much would have had to not have a fire arrow, a ball of flame,
right,
or any of that in his deck, pretty much, which just seems really unlikely to me.
right. Yeah, because you were on your third Diandora. Yeah,
Yep.
I think there was one chance you could have played Hero's Return, Backlash. Midway through the game, but it seemed.
Didn't think about that.
Yeah. It seemed like a pretty tough one. Like when he played.
Yeah, there were actually 2 chances I could have played Return, but I haven't played Falco in so long it didn't even occur to me. So I just kind of kept pressing buttons.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw him play the Wrath of the Sea Lord early, and Demon God was like, he probably doesn't even have returns, and in my head I was thinking, he's probably just he's afraid of the backlash.
I thought he had returns. It's just, it seems like Aces has kind of played a little paranoid this tournament, so I thought he was thinking I was going to backlash, but I didn't. I wasn't even really thinking about it that turn. Then after that I started considering it, but it just really didn't occur to me.
Yeah.
The next 2 turns I kind of forgot about it.
Yeah.
But it's cool because I get $50 worth of all field money, so hopefully I can get myself 2 mana.
That's cool.
Yep.
You gonna spend it all on set 10?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Okay.
I think that'll get me. Let me check.
Alright, hold on. Well, I'm gonna
2 boxes.
end the broadcast right now real quick just to save this section from the game, and I guess I'll turn it back on. I don't know, not too much else going on, but let's see.